Okay, we're doing it. It's happening. Just 2 minutes late. Just had the briefest of technical difficulties, but we're here. How is everybody? Hello. Hi, Beth. It's weird doing a non-TBR spin stream because I feel like it's been like 2 months since we've just gotten together to read. Although I will be spinning a wheel. But that's more for me and my February reading journey. But I thought it could be fun to do it with all of you. Oh, nice. I finished there last night, which is my January TBR spin. So just in the nick of time. Perfect. I was just looking at my when I came in, the banner was still ticking across that had the prompt for February. How did everybody's January reading go? Hello. Hi, Ingrid. Hi. Good morning. Yay. You might have been more on time than I was. I got into it and I was so proud of myself because I had to make a new wheel for my reading for February, and I had to figure out where all my HRCYED books were going to go for January so that I was working off of the most accurate information for February. Usually I won't do this part until I'm ready to edit through my HRCYED video. But I needed to do it early so that I knew what prompts I had left. So I did all that this morning, and I made my new wheel for this. And then my keyboard just was I don't want to work. I actually don't want to do anything. Which I was using it obviously. And then it wasn't until I logged into StreamYard where it was no, no, I'm good. Which was slightly annoying, but only 2 minutes late. So it was okay. The book I picked for February in the TBR spin, I finished the day you spun. Oh, perfect. Finally, just friends. Yay. On my third book of the weekend, so very excited to sprint. Ooh, nice. This will be my second book. I finished a book last night, which I was really working on doing because I really wanted to start today fresh for February for what I want to do reading wise for February. I guess I can start my February spin book now that it's really February. Hi, Nadeem. Currently reading The Loneliness of Sunny and Sunny. Started it shortly after Christmas. It's taken me a long time to read. Do you find it a slow read? If I remember right, you enjoyed it. Yes, I did enjoy it, and I did also find it a slow read. But kind of, if you can give the time to it, it's so good. It's so good. So I definitely, I think you're doing the right thing by giving it that time and that space. Hello. Currently reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is my first live stream I've been able to join. I haven't finished my January TBR, but working on it, currently doing some university work. Well, hopefully this helps. Or I guess if it doesn't help with your January TBR, then hopefully it helps with your university work. I read 6 books in January. Darker Shade of Magic was one of my favorites. And a German book was a good reading month for me. Nice. Happy February. The sprints. So basically we chat and then we read for 40 minutes. I'll be reading too. So we just have a little timer going. Everybody reads, or you can be productive if you have stuff you need to get done. And then we come back together at the end of the 40 minutes, chat a little bit about what we read, or what we did during that sprint. And then we just do it again. Just a way to be productive together, whether that's reading or productive. I have spent a relaxing Sunday reading Madonna in a fur coat. Nice. I read 13 books in January. Ooh, that's awesome. I think I had 8 but one was a DNF, so 7.5. Currently reading Darker Shade of Magic 2 and a German book, short stories, and I'm still listening to Prison Healer 2. Nice. Love it. Missed the spin. What are the February plans? So the TBR spin prompt for February, what was that? It was this one. I still have I have the banner of every TBR spin prompt ever in here still. But was to read a book by an author you haven't read from before. For TBR spin. So that was what we did last weekend. We spun for this. Today I am also spinning a wheel, but it's just for my personal reading for the HRCYED challenge. So for February, I am going to be doing so I have like some squares left for HRCYED, the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, on my bingo board. And I am spinning a wheel of those squares that I have left, which I have done before to like pick my TBR, but this time I'm doing it as the month goes on rather than just at the beginning of the month making a TBR and then reading it. But this time I am doing it as I go, and also I can choose whichever one I want from that square. Some squares I only have one prompt left, so it's like I don't really have much of a choice there, but some I have quite a few prompts left, and so then I can pick which one that I want to do. Whereas last time I did this, I spun a wheel of HRCYED prompts, and then I spun another wheel of whatever prompts I had left on as a part of that square. So that's a wheel that I'm spinning today. I'm going to share that. I thought it'd be fun to like kick off the month with a live show, especially since it like lined up with a weekend anyways. So it seemed pretty perfect. But yeah, so that's what February's HRCYED video is going to look like. It'll include like those spins and everything, which should be a lot of fun. I think I've been really looking forward to this, especially after January. I mean, like I did make a TBR for myself, but I just kind of picked what I wanted based off of what would work for different squares and stuff. And I gave myself a lot of freedom to change it up as the month went on, which worked out well. But now I'm excited to kind of just like leave it up to chance. Currently reading Not Quite Dead Yet and really enjoying it. Awesome. Hi, Sam. If possible, please read The Inheritance of... Oh, I really do want to read The Inheritance of Loss because I heard a lot about it when everybody was talking about the loneliness of Sonia and Sunny. I need to put that on my list. With Sonia and Sunny, I definitely felt like I would have enjoyed it more if it was shorter. It is a long book, but I did really love it. I need to finish my January TBR spin. I mean, now's a great opportunity. Currently reading Alchemize. Been reading it since November. That is a beefy book, so I don't blame you. I'm carrying 2 books over from January: Silverborn by Jessica Townsend and The Names by Florence Knapp. I have a friend that's reading The Names right now. I was just chatting on the phone with her about it. Good morning. Yes, happy sprinting. I might start my February TBR spin book today or just mood read another Mistborn novel. Ooh, I'm currently reading The Bands of Mourning. Oh, maybe we'll end up... Is The Bands of Mourning the second one? Yeah, it is. We might end up reading the same book. There's a possibility. There is a section of the wheel where this is the outcome. This is, I guess, like a slight spoiler for my January HRCYED video, but I don't know. I don't know. But I thought for the last 12 years square that the only book that I could do for the year 2017 was the 3rd book in the 5th season trilogy, which meant that I was like, maybe I'll just do that as the trilogy for the series, Stairway trilogy, read all 3 of those books. That'll cover 3 of the years. And then I'll be able to read from 2017 without diverting from my TBR. However, turns out I had already read a book from 2017 that was just going to the fantasy square in the genre prompt, which like easy. I can read another fantasy. I already have. So now I'm going to be shuffling that into 2017. And now I don't need to worry about that. And so I have like other standalone books on my TBR that can fit every other year. So I might still try starting the 5th season. Like maybe I'll just do it as my 2015 book, or like restarting technically the series. But I don't think I'm going to try to read all 3 of them before the end of HRCYED, which I think is going to be better for my reading experience with it if I don't feel like I have to. Also, I just really want to read Mistborn as my trilogy, and I have all 3 books. I also wouldn't mind doing the Robin Hobb trilogy, but I only have the 2nd book. I don't have the 3rd in that. And I've been like looking around in bookstores. I think I'm just going to have to order it. I much prefer to buy in bookstores, especially with all the access I have to bookstores now, living in Denver. But unfortunately, no one has the third book of the Tawny Man trilogy. It's killing me. Even like Barnes and Noble. Like I've even gone to Barnes and Noble and they still don't have it. There is another one that I could try though. So I might do that. Anyways, that was a lot of information to say. Maybe I'll be reading The Bands of Mourning. My plan was to read The Color Purple this month. So that works for me. Oh, perfect. We'll finish up Strange Pictures and then get on that. Ooh, that's another possibility. Probably wouldn't start today though, because I think I know what other book I'd be reading if I got translated. Snowed in for the second weekend in a row. Oh, happy I'm available to join for some accountability and getting reading and work tasks done. Hoping to make progress in reading burial rites for my book group. Nice. Yeah, it did end up snowing last weekend for me. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was very jealous of everybody in their snow and really trying not to be. But it did end up snowing here and it was really nice. We went and got tacos for dinner, which we did last year on one of the big like snow days. It was just like nice walking through the snow and getting tacos at our favorite taco place. Starting my TBR spin book today. All Boys Aren't Blue. Should be doing HRCYED nonfictions, but they were two of my 3 books this weekend, so need a break. Yeah, fair. That's a lot of nonfiction. I had originally planned on reading 2 nonfictions in a row, but the first one was The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and after I finished that, I was like, actually, I need a second. Hello. Read Always Home, Always Homesick by Hannah Kent last week. I think Always Home, Always Homesick. That's the name of the book. I think it might be this year's women's nonfiction winner. Ooh, loved it. Burial Rites for Ben's February Australian book. Perfect timing. Nice. First time here for sprints. Oh, yay. Glad you're here. Good evening. What was your highlight in January? For thing I did or for book I read? If it's for thing I did, that day, like walking in the snow to tacos was really nice last week. But also I did do a speed puzzling competition yesterday and I got to do all 4 competitions because I had like enough friends that were joining or that like wanted to do it with me and my friend usually go to them. And so we'll do like the pair stuff, but we don't usually do the team stuff unless there's another pair out there that needs 2 more to make a team. So we did all 4 competitions and it was so much fun. And I got 5th place for the individuals, which was awesome. And there was somebody there that I'd seen like on the nationals, like live streams of the competition, which was really cool. Which I didn't realize that they lived in, they're not close to here. I think they were the person that traveled the furthest, but it was very cool. I felt a little starstruck, which is so silly to say about like a speed puzzler. So that might have been my highlight. That was a really fun day too. And book-wise, probably I was going to say The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates, but actually I read a lot of great books this year. I guess this year does work. But in January, I really loved In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. That was my first book this year. It's so good. It's so good. I cannot express to you how good it is. I can't wait to talk about it. Well, I've already filmed a clip of me summing up my thoughts on that one for HRCYED, because I do that like as I read them, but like it's so good. And then also A Little Luck by Claudia Pinedo and translated by Frances Riddle, which I felt like was going to be good because Elena Knows is one of my favorite books of all time. That's by the same author-translator duo. So I knew that I was going to like it, but it did take me a long time to read it because I get nervous about it. Not Quite Dead Yet chewed me up and spit me out. Many tears were shed. Ooh. Oh, The Names was one of my favorite reads last year. I hear great things about The Names. Oh, that's the 6th one. Wait, do I not have the 2nd book? All this time. Okay, maybe I won't. Oh, The Well of Ascension. That's the 2nd one? Okay, I do own it. I just was looking in the wrong area of my TBR. Silly me. Do you show us your spin? I will be showing you my spin. Hello. I'm so jealous of everyone for getting snow. We got snow in Ireland in January, so all January. So we probably won't get it again for like 5 years. Claudia Pinedo is one of my favorite authors right now. I've read all 3 English translations, and she has a new book coming out in May. I think the release date is okay. Yeah, I was looking at her other books. I want them to translate all of them into English. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to read her other translated that I'll have access to. But that's exciting to know another one's coming out in May. And maybe now that I've done 2 of them, I can be braver about continuing on. I struggle so much with authors I really love, which is so silly. Okay, let me show you my wheel. Okay, share. Yes, perfect. And I think I like this one better. I can never remember. So when I'm showing you the entries that are on it, so this is everything that I have left, but there are 2 of them that aren't actually squares on there, but they're just to help me. So that is the TBR spin book. That's just like, that helps me read my TBR spin book that I need to read. Let me do that. And then the other one is book club. So this is for my Patreon book club. So I want a higher chance. There are squares that could lead me to either of those books that exist on the wheel already. Like, for example, my book club book is Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. So blurbed books, that's the one book I have left for that square. So like technically that would count, but I just wanted to give myself an extra chance. And the way that it's going to work is every time I spin the wheel, you can do a thing where you can, can I not go back? Oh, no, I can. You can do a thing where you can weight something to be like a higher weight. So if we don't get either of those options this time, or the new release, because I still haven't read my new release for January, so that's becoming more top priority, then I can go ahead and change this to weight it as if it's like 2 like slices on here instead of just 1. And then it becomes like a bigger slice of the pie. So every time that I don't get those ones, that's what's going to happen for when I spin again. That's not super relevant to today because I'm likely only going to spin once. There are technically, I think, like 2 possibilities for like, I can read it really quickly, like in our sprints. I think one of those is actually my TBR spin book, because it's not very long. So there's like a chance that we would get to a second spin in the sprints today, which would be really cool. But unlikely. So that's how that works. So all of these are squares on the bingo board, with the exception of my Patreon book club book and the TBR spin book. And then those 2 are high priority, as well as the new release one is high priority because I haven't read my January release yet. So that's all of that. Hopefully I explained that well enough. But yeah, I don't know why I'm nervous. Also, I think I figured it out that I have like 31 prompts left total, like if I count up all the prompts on each of the squares. Obviously, like the ideal from that is reading, I guess, 16 more books, not 15. 16 more books, so that would cover 32 prompts, but that's only if like I actually get them all to cover 2 prompts. So let's see what I will be working towards as my first book for February. You're kidding. Okay, well, great. This is really great. I'll be reading this one first. I only had 1 book left for, let me go big. I only had 1 book left for the blurbed books square on the HRCYED board, and it's for Tommy Orange. So I read Stephen Graham Jones. What is the name of that book? The Only Good Indians. There we go. I could only think of of the Buffalo Hunter, and I was like, that's not the one. The Only Good Indians was blurbed by a ton of people, but the people that I picked were Grady Hendrix, already read. Carmen Machado, just talked about how I loved In the Dream House, which I read in January. So that one will be crossed off the board during the January video. And then the only one I have left is by Tommy Orange. And I already have, of course, Wandering Stars. So this is kind of perfect for the person that just finished there. This is like a follow-up to that. So yes, and it's also my Patreon book club book. So it was one of the ones that I absolutely had to read this month. So I'm very happy that it's coming up early. Okay. Already everyone can have all the snow I've gotten in Chicago. I've heard it's been crazy. A lot of my coworkers are in Midwest, Northeast area, and I've heard it's been crazy. Cathedrals is the title, if I remember right. Oh, for the Claudia Piñeiro book. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Hello. How often do you do the sprint videos? I do at least one a month for TBR Spin, so we do the spin for TBR Spin, but then we also always do reading sprints afterwards. So that one's like a given. And then I like to do one other one a month. I think I kind of fell out of that for the last couple of months of 2025, but I've been very motivated to do sprints again. Like I feel like I have the renewed love of it for some reason at the beginning of the year. So I'll probably get back into doing just one of these where it's just like we're just doing sprints. It's not for TBR Spin specifically. So I would say 2 a month is my ideal anyway. So that's what I shoot for. I'm doing homework and editing a video. Nice. I'm doing a DIY literature degree, just something I do on my own. Oh, nice. My current read for that is David Copperfield. Ooh, I was like very tempted to read David Copperfield after I read Demon Copperhead. Also, I was tempted to read it before, but then I had to, was it a book club book? I can't remember, but there was like some push that I had to read Demon Copperhead when I read it. So then I was like, do I go back? Do I go back and read David Copperfield? And everybody's like, you don't have to. It's kind of like the whole James Huck Finn situation. Like you don't have to, but like it could be cool. Anyways, we should read. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start our timer for today. Let me, I don't know, share it. That'd be cool. Okay, and we want, nope. This one? This one. Yeah. I should really delete the many versions of setups that I did before I found the one that I liked. But we are going to be reading for 40 minutes. I'm probably also going to make some oatmeal at the beginning of this time. So if you see an empty chair here, that's what I'm doing. But otherwise, I will be reading Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange, which is very exciting. Happy reading, everybody. Okay, how did everybody do? I made it to page 29, which not bad. Not bad for me, especially for making oatmeal at the same time. I do like it's got a family tree. It does make me want to go back to the characters that are in there just to see if they match up, because I think it's supposed, well, I believe these are supposed to be the ancestors to somebody from there. I just can't remember who. What's the main character named Jude, or am I just making that up? Because the first guy in this is named Jude. The guy that's like at the top of the family tree. Finish the audition. Time to spin for my next read. Nice. Fun. Currently reading Seibo. There below. And it is brutal, but it's somehow rewarding at the same time. Yeah, so far this is just pretty brutal. I think he's now like more in a better place. Or a place where he can just kind of like live life as he chooses, at least more than what led to this point. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot so far. I'm not reading for fun right now. I'm currently doing some homework for my work. Working to become an RBT for special needs kids. Oh, nice. Has required videos and reading. Nice. Okay, sorry, I had to cough. So I had to mute myself to save you from that. 27 pages of David Copperfield. Nice. Just did some chores, going to read on the next one. Awesome. The chores need to happen too, unfortunately. I was really productive in making study guides and editing. Awesome. I know I do really need to edit today. I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm just going to not think about that. I think I'm only going to read for these. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it would be good to do like a section of editing. Maybe I'll do that in like the last sprint that I do. I seem to not have grasped that I was supposed to be reading. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I've read 42 pages of Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. That's I assume it's a fake dating book about ice skaters. Is it a hockey romance, or is it just like ice skating in general? That's really funny. I made some wrench for like the first 20 minutes and then managed to read about 26 pages. Oh, awesome. Hello. I will take a break when I am done editing to film an intro and clean my room. Nice. Only 15 pages left of Madonna in a Fur Coat. A beautiful, sad book. Perfect way to spend a Sunday. Oh, well, it sounds like you'll finish in the next sprint. When I read Wandering Stars, I definitely wish I'd gone back and reread There. So I would double check the characters if you can. Yeah, I think I'm going to start the next section with that. I do think that if I look at the characters, then it's going to remind me, or it's going to like refresh my memory for the book in general. It hasn't been that long since I read There. I don't think. Did I? Yeah, I had a YouTube channel, so it was at least within the last 5 years. The Master Magician, last chapter to go. Oh, nice. I joined at the perfect time. Yay. I just got here about 6 minutes ago. Currently a third into Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I hope that you're loving it. Although, to be fair, Assassin's Apprentice is my least favorite of all the Robin Hobbs, which really just means that it was not like rated insanely highly for me, because all of her books are like 4.5 or higher, maybe 4.25 or higher. And that one I think was like a 3 point something. 3.5 maybe. But I think that a large part of that is a me problem. I have a hard time with books that follow a main character that is as young as Fitz is in that, especially in the start of that book. And so the further into the book that I got, the more I liked it. But kids just have no agency. So I don't love her. And it makes sense, like why they don't have agency, but it's just not something that I particularly like to read. So I struggled with it a little bit, but the reason why I continued to stick with it was because I knew he would grow up, and I knew it was a me problem, not a book problem. Hi, everyone. Couldn't make it home on time because I was trying to avoid breaking my neck. Oh, no. Yeah, good. No slipping on ice. I just joined after missing the past few reading sprints. But there's only been one so far. So I'm currently reading. Oh, you probably mean past few as in like actual reading sprint times, not today. Right. Live shows. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm currently reading a nonfiction called Is a River Alive by Robert McFarlane. That name sounds familiar, but the book doesn't sound familiar to me. I'm currently reading I Who Have Never Known Men, but I don't know what to think about it yet. That book took me a long time to think about. I don't think it was a 5-star upon reading it, but I do think it's like a 5-star now. And I read that, I want to say like February or March of last year. But yeah, I remember finishing it, and then I had a book club for it that I was like going to. And so I ended up doing like a lot of reading about the circumstances of it getting published and then republished in the US, like retranslated, I think. Or maybe just the title was translated again, I think is what happened, into a more accurate representation of what the French title was. And I like listened to some podcasts about it from like other people that had read it, because like I was having just such a hard time just thinking of it on my own, and I wanted to develop like thoughts about it for book club. And it ended up being just like a great experience. I don't know, thinking through that book, and I still think about it a lot. But it is a weird one. So I do understand when people are not super on board with it. Exactly. 70 pages of strange pictures to go. Nice. But the mix of being cozy in pajamas and the heating is making me want to nap. Yeah, I was like struggling to, I was reading The Golden Couple by Sarah Pekkanen and Greer Hendricks last night. And I was so close to the end, but I was like all snuggled up, and we were having hot chocolate because apparently it was National Hot Chocolate Day, International Hot Chocolate Day. I don't know. The person at the speed puzzling competition was talking about it. That's how I knew. And I had hot chocolate there. They made hot chocolate for everybody there, which was great. But yeah, then we made some when I got home. So I was like drinking that, reading in a blanket with a cat on me. And it was very hard to not just fall asleep right there. Thank you. Oh no, for notifying me 45 minutes after the stream started. That stinks. Haven't been to a reading sprint before. I'm excited to be here despite being late. Oh, yay. I'm glad you're able to make it. Read a little bit, started moving some photos from my phone to computer. I have no storage since I take too many photos. I struggle with that. I mean, it helps because I just have a Google Pixel, so I use Google Photos. So like technically I can just up the amount of space that I use on that, and it like just automatically backs up from my phone to there and then removes from my phone after a certain time period or something, but I can still look at it. But if I wanted to like post it, I think I have to download it to my phone and then like post it. But I very rarely want to do that for photos that I took like a month ago. So yeah, this has not been as much of a problem for me as it used to. That used to be a really big problem for me. I started Dune in December, then put it down because it felt dense, but this reading sprint helped me pick it back up and get 34 pages through. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, Dune is a tough one. I have read it. I did decide to not continue in the series. Originally, I was going to read just the first 3, I think. I'm working on very old memories now. But I believe that was all that Frank Herbert wrote, right? And then the next 3 his son wrote with his notes or something. I'm ready. But yeah, it is dense. I did make it through Dune, and I did like Dune. I just don't think that I liked the whole world of it enough to continue on in the series. Just finished Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. It was really good. Oh, good. That's what I need to put on my list too. Plan on fuffing around with some tasks around the house next sprint and read my February TBR spin if I have time. Awesome. I hated I Have Never Known Men when I finished it, then quickly grew to love it the more I thought about it. Very interesting book. Yes, it is so unique in that way. I'm really loving the book so far, but it was a huge surprise to read about Cosmo Sheldrake, the musician, accompanying the author on it on an expedition in Ecuador. Oh, this is the nonfiction. I was like, what? I mean, still kind of crazy, but at least it makes more sense as being nonfiction. I was like, what a weird character, like person to bring into your novel. So far, this book is a 4 or 5 for me, and I adore Fitz. Oh, good. Then you're gonna have a fantastic time reading the trilogy if you're already this into it. Because I had a fantastic time, and I like struggled a little bit book 1. I'm excited to read the rest of the series if you say they're better books. Yes, I think so. I think most people tend to love the Fitz books the most. But technically, the second trilogy so far is my favorite, the Live Ship Traders trilogy. But honestly, it's like having a bar that's like this tall, and then like the books are like here and here, or the series are like here and here. So like, it's not a huge difference between the two, but that is technically my favorite. First time here for live, welcome. I'm currently on page 113, The World According to Color, A Cultural History by James Fox. Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one. Sounds good though. I read 55 pages of Murder on Hunter's Eve. I should have DNF'd it, but I'm too stubborn to do it. I mean, my vote is always, if you feel like you should DNF it, DNF it, but I'll leave it up to you. I understand. It's a tough decision to make always. Hi, currently reading The Good Vampire's Guide to Blood and Boyfriend. Nice. That's a great title. I just finished a super hard book, The Melancholy of Resistance, so now I need a fluffy YA. Yeah, that's why I read The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which been saying his name wrong for years. Cool. Did not realize it until this book. He talks about the pronunciation of his name in it. It's Ta-Nehisi, not Ta-Nehisi Coates. But yeah, read that. And then I was going to jump straight into One Day Everyone Will Always Have Been Against This, by Omar El Akid. Also was pronouncing that name wrong. And then I just there was no way. My brain was still like spinning. So I went for a thriller instead, which I hadn't read I hadn't read a thriller in so long. And it was kind of nice to be doing it again, even though it wasn't like a fantastic thriller or anything. But it was fun. I'm so torn on what to read after finishing Anna Karenina. Oh my gosh, congrats. So I'm reading relevant sections in a Tolstoy biography. Apparently Anna was in the first draft was ugly. Huh. Interesting. I'm now making oatmeal despite it being almost 7 p.m., but it's not like the breakfast place is going to come for me. Yeah, breakfast in the evening is the best thing. Also, I just had oatmeal, so I'm biased. But it is morning here. So, yeah. Reading Chilko by Daniela Catrileo. For February prom, struggling to get my head around it after finishing a straightforward book, but early days. I learned that Cosmo Sheldrake actually wrote a song for the author and the others during this expedition, and even used sounds he recorded from the forest in the song. It's called Song of Cedars. Interesting. I'll have to listen to that. That's cool. I'm reading There Is No Antimedics Division by Sam Hughes. I don't think I know what antimedics is. Is that a thing? Is it like a real sciencey thing? It's sci-fi horror. I've been loving horror lately. I really want to read more horror. Melancholy Resistance is on my TBR. What did you think? Okay, yeah, we need opinions. But we will go over those opinions in our next break, and we'll go ahead and do another 40 minutes. So happy reading, everybody. All right. How did everybody do? Second reading sprint. I did pretty well. I made it to, I just finished chapter 6. So that's nearly 60 pages in, but doing pretty well. And I think I'm getting like more of a grasp. I looked up the characters from the first one and also like a brief synopsis of the not even necessarily the plot line itself of there, which I remembered quite well, especially like the ending, but the because I knew that it went through a little bit of like the history of the characters that were in that book, who all come from characters in this book, or not all, but most. So the little family tree that it gives here at the bottom, these are the characters, and actually really up to here, like all of these characters are included in there. So I don't know like how deep into this we're going to get in this one, or if we're going to stick to like the top half, but we're already not on the top line anymore. We're already on the second line. So, but we could go back to the top line. I'm not sure if it's going to be like totally, you know, as soon as you're like done with the character, you're like on to another character, or if it's going to just be something that like jumps back and forth. But yeah, very happy that I looked up the little bits of there. I think that helped a lot with this, and also helps a lot because I knew that there was a strong theme of addiction in this book, but I kind of forgot about that theme in there. So that was kind of like good to remind myself of. Where was I? Antiemetics is made up. Okay. Good to know. I think you would be interested in that one. Oh, okay, cool. I'll look into it. Thank you. Okay, and then this was about Melancholy of Resistance. Really hard to read because the author doesn't use paragraphs. Oh, this is that one. I remember talking about this last weekend, right? The characters are well crafted, but not particularly likable. I didn't end up loving it, unfortunately. Hello. Oh, I when I went to Morocco, we used to do the Assalamu alaikum. There's like there's something to say back too, right? I can't remember it now, but I remember doing it when we were in Morocco. Oh, that was a long time ago. That was like, I think 10 years ago for me, 11 years ago. Oh, a long time ago. I'm reading the same author, and it's interesting to see that it's probably a hallmark of his writing. Oh, the paragraph. Oh. The Antiemetics one is giving House of Leaves vibes? Well, that sounds like fun. Oh, man, that reminds me of Tom's Crossing. I'm going to read you this year. I'm just not ready yet. If it was like, if it could really well fit into something that I needed for HRCYED, I think I would be prioritizing it to read earlier. But it'll probably be after HRCYED. Although the end of HRCYED, my version 1 and 2 together, I don't think is that far off for me. And then I think I'm going to be kind of randomly reading for my TBR a lot because my on deck for my TBR is getting quite large. There was some good books in the little library. It wasn't my fault. I didn't buy anything. I mean, I did last weekend, but since then I didn't buy anything. And like, that was fine. That was manageable. But then I've been sent things. I got Dave Eggers' book that's coming out in June, which is really cool. What is it? Contrapposto. Oh, that's the full name. That's the full title. I was thinking that this is part of the title. That's his name. But yeah, this comes out in June. I have read, I think, 3 books by Dave Eggers. Hated one, loved 2. So who knows where this is going to go. I read The Circle was unfortunately my first book I read by him, which I didn't like. That was the first book for my in-person book club in Florida that I created and is still going on many, many years later. yeah, that's still, I think, one of the coolest things always in my lifetime is going to be having made that, especially with like how many friendships came out of it. Like not even like for me, but like for other people. It's just the coolest thing. If you can start a book club, I will always recommend it. But then I also read, oh gosh, I can never remember one of it was a short story collection. That was How Hungry We Were or something. And then the other one, now I can't remember the name of it. Did it have American in it? The word American? No. A Heartbreaking Work of a Staggering Genius was there. And I remember because I was looking at the back of this and it has a few of the books that he's written mentioned, but it didn't have that one, which is crazy to me because I thought that was his most popular. Besides The Circle. The Circle is more popular because it became a movie. Tom Hanks was in it. Emma Watson was in it. I also didn't like the movie. I think I will have mixed feelings as well, since it seems to be more of a book of ideas, but we'll see. Ooh. Finished my book, Picking Up Wild Dark Shore for Ben's Read Good Challenging February book. Okay, or challenge. Yeah, the Australia. Nice. Wild Dark Shore is one of those books where I'm like, I think I'm interested in it, but I can't decide. It read to me like a series of vaguely connected short stories. Ooh, that does sound like something that's up my alley. Amelia, you know my reading tastes too well, I think. It is funny to hear that, and then hear somebody describe it. I'm like, yeah, it does sound like something I'd like. First time here, so glad to be able to join today. Yay, I'm glad you were too. 44 pages of Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I hope you're liking it. Read about 40 pages and put away some laundry. Lunchtime now. Over 40 pages. Oof. What book are you reading again? Did you say? That's a lot of pages. I know somebody last week was reading the first of the Stormlight Archives books, and that seems like that could be around that page count, but another 20-ish pages. Halfway done. Awesome. The Tolstoy biography shows why Anna is so great. The following quote from Leo really hit me hard. A story leaves a deeper impression when it is impossible to tell what side the author is on. Yes, that is so good. That is strongly how I felt with War and Peace, which is kind of why I want to read Anna Karenina again. I'm on page 94. This is going much faster than last month's TBR read. Nice. 26 pages of David Copperfield. 122 of 360 into Is a River Alive. It's definitely on track to be a 5-star read for me. Oh, that's great. Finished The Master Magician. Started The Chrysalids by John Wyndham. 12 pages in so far. Ooh. 34 pages left, so doubt I'll get to The Color Purple, but still happy to have read Strange Pictures in a day to finally start translated books. Awesome. Yeah. I've read the next 2 chapters of Homeward Bound by Hamza Yassin. It's such a good book, very inspiring, about British nature. Ooh. Good morning. Read 16 pages of Go Tell It on a Mountain by James Baldwin. Beginnings are always slower for me. Oh, same. It's so funny because I often start books in reading sprints because of TBR Spin. And it is funny, like I always read the least amount in the first sprint. It doesn't help because I'm usually like doing a few other stuff for the challenge itself to like update, but even like without that, it's always the slowest one. I have a hard time starting. Little free libraries are wonderfully dangerous, for real. And I have like too good of one. Like they're doing too good. They're putting too good books in there. Especially like it is fun though because I like reading romance, but I don't like buying romance because I know that I'm probably not going to hold on to the book afterwards, and then I often forget about it when like thinking about borrowing it from the library or anything. So I feel like honestly that little library is responsible for me like continuing to read romances. But they had an Abby Jimenez in there the other day, which was very exciting. I'm using this book for both HRCYED 2.0 and Books and Lala's Buzzword Reading Challenge 2026. I've never done any reading challenges before last year, but they've been so fun. Yeah, I love reading challenges. I just muted myself instead of pausing the timer. I love that you can like still get so much out of the books while still doing like a gamified version of it. Like it doesn't feel like it's taking away from what you get out of books, if that makes sense. I mean, I guess maybe some people out there like read super fast just so that they can like complete a bunch of challenges. But I feel like probably for the most part, people just use it to pick the book they're going to read. And like, that's a lot of fun. And also it can encourage you to like read some stuff that maybe you weren't, you wouldn't have read right then, or you wouldn't have thought of, originally or whatever. I joined with 10 minutes left in the sprint, did a reread of The Kind Worth Killing. Oh, that's on, right? Yeah, that's on my TBR spin stack. So this year should be reading it. And I'm now almost finished with The Kind Worth Saving by Peter Swanson. Very entertaining. I forgot that there's like a follow-up to that. I think it was originally published as a web series. Interesting. Much shorter than House of Leaves. That's good. I have too many big books that I want to read this year. I don't know what I'm going to do. I read about 12 pages of This Is How to Win the Time War. I thought it was This Is How You Lose the Time War. Is it win? I can't remember now. But then started cooking. I feel like it's taking me ages. Yeah, for a short book, it does take a long time. Had thought I was going to start my February pick for the spin, picked up Half His Age instead. Not sure how I feel about it. That's the Jeanette McCurdy book, right? It's getting mixed reviews. It's getting not very good reviews. I've been looking because I was considering that being my January release, and now I'm not so sure. And I still haven't even read her nonfiction. And now if that one's not getting good, I'd rather have like a positive introduction to her as an author, which like it is her first novel. And if everybody like really loved her nonfiction, then like I feel like the writing is in her, even if like this isn't quite the one. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. Oh, it's a Sarah J. Maas. Yep. It's a long one and I'm not having the greatest time. Oh no. Oh yeah. Me and Sarah J. Maas, we have a mixed bag of reading experiences. I think I have officially decided to DNF the ACOTAR series. I think I gave it enough of a shot to like, I should just stop. But I'm not putting it out of the realm of possibility of picking up what I think that book is from, House of Flame and Shadow, which is, I can never remember the name of it. It's not the Crescent City one. It's the other one. Assassin? Is Assassin in the title of the first one or something? Or maybe the prequel? I don't know. Whatever that one is. Just joining. I'm reading On the Calculation of Volume 1. It is irritating me though. I found 4 in the store the other day and I was like, I don't want to start here. Not that I needed to buy any more books. How often do you do sprints first time here? I would say at the very minimum once a month. I for sure do them as a part of like a year-long reading challenge that I do. But then I tend to, or at least I try to do at least one other one. So two a month. Somebody that's great for reading sprints. Monday, Nicole does reading sprints all day on, what is her channel name? Noteworthy. I don't know. It just comes up in my notifications. somebody put Nicole's channel in the chat, please. But she does them every Monday for like all day and it's great. But yeah, for me, like twice a month. 5 pages into my current read, there are no paragraph breaks and no sentence breaks. Nice. Okay, it is Lose the Time War. I thought so. And then I was like, did they do a sequel? And it's like, This Is How You Win the Time War. That would be funny. Okay, what you're reading from is the Crescent City series. I was thinking of the other one that I might read from eventually. I just don't remember. Thank you, Noteworthy Fiction. Thank you, Amelia. So yeah, if you're looking for somebody that sprints like regularly and not like a regular time, that's a great channel for it. Because that's every Monday. I hop in those sometimes and just like do my work day with them and then maybe like some reading after my work day. Just because like it's an all day thing. So I would recommend hers. I mean, obviously I would recommend mine. It would be great to have you come back, but just mine is a little bit more a little bit less regular, but about twice a month. Okay. Also, I felt like there was something that I had and it's gone from my brain. All right, never mind. Let's do another sprint. And then I think there's going to be 2 more. I think we'll do 2 more from here. So this will be our second to last. So happy reading, everybody.
Okay. How did everybody's sprint go? I made it 100 pages in, like almost exactly. I'm on page 101. So pretty happy with that. I think I'll spend the last sprint editing just to kind of shift my mindset into that, which I have to get into today. Oh, my mic was way over there. Sorry. I said that I got to page 100, and that I think for the last sprint, I think I'm going to edit instead to work on getting into that because I should really finish editing that whole video today, but if I could at least get through the first cut of it, I'll be happy. Morning from Northern Nevada, getting on the treadmill for my 6-mile run, listening to Hunters of Dune, Dune number 7 by Herbert/Anderson, and popping in to join the live. We were just talking about Dune, actually. And I was trying to remember when the books go from being just Herbert to it's his son, right? I thought. Or maybe that's I don't know. I don't know anymore. But I thought it was the first 3 was definitely was just Herbert, and then it was his son with the notes from his dad or something like that. So funny you're here. We were just talking about your sprint. Somebody was asking how often I sprint, and I was like twice a month is my goal generally. But if you do want to go to a more consistent reading sprint, so yeah, we were just talking about you. And joining to do something. Perfect. I managed to do 2 video study guidelines. Nice. Thankfully, I had my husband to help because my baby wanted all the attention. Finished dinner, 92 pages into my book. Great. Just eating our Sunday roast. Love it. 28 pages of David Copperfield, making some good progress through it. I'm on page 102 of Buffalo Hunter Hunter. Last sprint, I'm going to work on a school assignment. Sounds good. I took a hard pivot and read a YA novel, Unteachables by Gordon Corman. I thought I'd taste test, but now I want to binge. That's fair. You know what? I feel like you deserve this break. And I think it'll help break up the reading. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm in something that dense, because correct me if I'm wrong, you had just read Anna Karenina, and then we're reading about little parts of Tolstoy's biography. But yeah, I feel like whenever I read a book like that, I'm like, I need something the exact opposite of this. So I feel like you're making a really good decision. At page 800, 300 more to go. So just the length of an average size book. I think about that sometimes when I'm reading a really big book. It's at a certain point, I'm like, this would be just a normal size book that I have left. And I don't know if sometimes it makes me feel better. Sometimes it makes me feel worse. Okay, I managed 40 pages that time in amongst other distractions. That's still good. Finally finished Fake Skating. I hope that you liked it. Read about 40 pages of Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. Sadly, I have to leave and be done for the day. Have to get ready for bed. It's getting late here in Finland. Yeah, that's fair. I hope you're enjoying your book. I've only read one Leanne Moriarty, which is 9 Perfect Strangers, but I have 3 of her books on my shelves, which I've gotten for, I think each of them for $1 at used bookstores or antique stores that have a bookshelf area. During this past sprint, I've been listening to an audiobook while cleaning. Nice. That's always great. I sometimes have a very hard time though listening to audiobooks while doing something like cleaning, unless it's a very monotonous cleaning type thing, like vacuuming I can do. But then if I actually, I don't know, I struggle. Finished The Kind We're Saving and continued with Anthropocene Reviewed. That's John Green's. I do really want to read that. I'm also 123 pages into World War Z, but it's not doing it for me. Should I DNF or persevere? You could try out the audiobook for that one. It is, I believe it's a full cast, if I remember correctly. It's been, I think, like 4 or 5 years since I read this. And I do think I mostly read it physically, but I think I tried the audiobook too and preferred the audiobook and was like annoyed at myself for not trying it sooner, if I remember correctly. And I think it's because it's a full cast, but I'm not positive. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. As far as otherwise, yeah, if you're still not feeling it then I would say DNF. It is, to me, it was a very fast-paced book, but I read it. I did like this video where I read 3 zombie books. I think I just read them within a month and then I talked about them afterwards. But that was like, of the 3 that I read, that was definitely the fastest pace. So maybe it was just like based off of what else I was reading. Oh, did I pause the timer? I didn't mean to do that. Okay, we'll just start whenever we catch up on comments. But yeah, because I read Zone 1 by Colson Whitehead and Severance by Ling Ma at the same time, which were like a lot slower paced zombie books. So maybe it's just the timing that I read it. Unsure. I'd also already seen the movie. So yeah, I would say I would try out the audiobook if you're not already. And if you still aren't into it, then just, you could DNF it. It's not like necessary reading. It's just kind of like fun. So if you're not having fun, then I would say, nah. The first 6 are Herbert, 7 and 8 are Herbert Anderson from Notes Found After Death. I read it in chronological order versus publication. Oh, interesting. I've only read Dune, and I decided not to continue on with the series. I think I like just tried out a chapter of the next one. Is that Children of something along those lines, whatever the second book is. And I just don't think it's for me. I could see myself maybe going back to it at a certain point, after diving like more into the sci-fi world in general. I do really love sci-fi. And like maybe if I got interested enough in the history of like certain authors in sci-fi, then I could like see myself going back to it. But otherwise, I'm good. Another 20 odd pages in. I'm hoping to get to 50% before I leave the book for today. Oh, I hope you can make it. A bit further into Not Quite Dead Yet. Less than 100 pages left. Oh, now I'm worried for you after hearing what other people were saying emotionally. I'm on page 159. I started on page 80 or something. I'm a bit of a slow reader, so happy with that. I feel like that's good. I'm also a slow reader. I'm very proud of myself for getting it to 100 pages in 3 sprints, especially for starting a book. That's pretty rare for me, I would say. But it's been pretty easy reading. And it like switches the people a lot, and then there's like blank pages when that happens. So maybe that's why I'm doing as well as I am. But the current section is written in second person, which I have to admit is something that I really like. I think that generally people don't, but I don't know. It really does something for me every time. One whole chapter done of my current read. Awesome. On page 24 of Chrysalids. Had lunch and struggled with nonsense Duolingo. Which language are you doing? Is the break? Wish I had seen this earlier. Yes, it indeed was. I think I don't know what I was doing. In my head, I was starting the break timer, I think, when I clicked it and then clicked pause instead of pausing the automatic timer that goes. I have 15 pages left of Murder on Hunter's Eve. It's won me over again, but it's still my least favorite book of the series. All right. Well, I'm at least you're into it again more. I've read World War Z and enjoyed the audiobook. It does have full cast. Okay, good. I'm glad I was remembering that correctly. I've switched to my TBR spin book, Catherine by Anya Seton, which is wonderful so far. Oh, good. My other book is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and I'm hating it, but it's my last spooky creatures book for her kid. Oh, yeah, honestly, I'm really glad that I could use the book that I used, there was a book I was going to use, but I was worried it was going to be like a spoiler that I used it. I can't remember if I ended up using it now. I don't want to say what it was. It happens in the second book of a series, which is why I don't want to say it. But I'm really glad that that wound up being a part of that book that I did not expect, because I felt like I had already read all the zombie books that I wanted to read, and like I wasn't seeing any more that were really calling my attention when I looked through lists. Like Severance and Zone 1 are like fully up my alley as far as zombie books go. So yeah, I think I don't know what I would read if that was back around later. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I kind of forgot that I did that though. Now I want to check what I did use for that, because if it is the book I'm thinking of, then I just want to be careful when I show that screen again that I don't show a book I used. Where is it? Is that it? Is that the slide? Oh no, I ended up using What Moves the Dead. I think because I didn't want to talk about this whole thing that I just started talking about. But yeah, What Moves the Dead was fine zombie wise. Like, I mean, I wanted to read that book. I just was not in my head. It was not a zombie book until later. That's when I had that realization. So if you want like a quick zombie book and you'd want to DNF that What Moves the Dead is very short if you haven't read it already. And it's T. Kingfisher. And we all love T. Kingfisher. Who's very recently speaking out against ICE, I believe. So that's really cool. I have to go, but it was fun reading / focusing with everybody. Yeah. Oh, I love these. I'm glad you were able to join. It would, if you'd want to do a macro to micro scope of Dune universe, I would definitely recommend chronological, but it is 23 books, including core Herbert Dune. Otherwise, just read Dune number 1 and 2 and be done. Okay. That's good to know. Maybe I'll attempt to it at some point. I don't know. I kind of at this point I feel like I would have to reread the first one, and that was not that long ago that I read it. Maybe like 3 years. I wish I could read a little faster. Honestly, me too. I say every word in my head, which I know that not everybody does, but I think that slow readers tend to do that. But I can't not. Like I have a hard time not doing that and still feeling like I'm really absorbing it. So, but I'm trying to be more okay with it. And I still read like a lot. So I think that it works out. I just have to like make it a part of my practice more. I need to do my Duolingo French, but also supplementing my Duolingo with movies / short stories. That's smart. That's a good way to do it. I'm doing Japanese, and the sentence in English is colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Wow, that is quite the sentence. I think I'm going to save the good zombie books for when I inevitably do a reading challenge and need one. Totally not my usual ballpark. Yeah, yep. That's why I'm worried about if the Creatures comes back in HRCYED 3.0 and it's got zombies again. I don't know what book I'm going to do. But I'm sure if I ask in a video for help, people will have suggestions. It takes a lot of practice to not sub-vocalize, but is that what that's called? Interesting. But it really helps speed and retention to not do it. Really? I took a class once that really helped me there. You can take a class on there? I didn't know that. That's so or on that, not on there. Okay, I might have to look into that. I didn't know it could help with retention. Yeah, I have such a hard time not doing it. I try sometimes, but maybe I'm not trying the correct way because I feel like just it doesn't sink in when I do that. I do know it is definitely AI a lot. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if it was 100% at this point. Which, yeah, really stinks. I don't use Duolingo anymore. It wasn't because of that, because I stopped using it quite some time ago. I've done Babbel, which I liked enough. I don't know where they are at AI-wise. But Rosetta Stone is the one I like ended up going back to, because you could just like pay once and get like a bunch of very common languages
in just that. Like you just had access to those. And that was what I first did. Like I used to do the discs for Rosetta Stone back in the day, the like CDs I'd put into my laptop and do those. So I was kind of familiar with them and I liked them. It's still, I feel like it's pretty similar to what it was back then. But right now I'm not really like learning any languages. Duolingo can be so wild with sentences. I mean, it would make sense if it's AI. Then that sentence makes a lot more sense. I was doing English for my friend once, and the sentence is wild. I used a dog's heart for the zombie prompt, and it feels like such a stretch. Even for a second there, I was really doubting myself with What Moves the Dead, and it's literally called What Moves the Dead. Voices are AI. They stopped using voice actors, but I don't know about the correction of mistakes. Oh, interesting. I mean, I'm probably going to stop because French really isn't a language that you can gamify. I like it. I'm certain that sentence is AI. I mean, it does sound like it. We did still end up making it through the whole entire break. Even though I didn't start it, I accidentally paused it. Is a sentence created by Noam Chomsky as an example of a syntactic okay, I can't correctly, but semantically got that one. Nonsensical utterance. Interesting. How fun. Kids are still grounded and have continued reading more as a result. Nice. But isn't science a bit of a magic, especially back then? Oh, true. I like that. Finally finished Strange Pictures. Yay. I assume this is in the Hello Philo Linguist. This is, yeah, that is a very interesting fact. I think that you win for most interesting fact shared with this one here. So thank you for sharing with us all. I feel like I get one like really good nugget of information in every reading stream. Reading stream, yeah, that works. Live stream, reading sprint. I just combine the two. That I do, which is great. Love it. I want to be a linguist, but I don't know if I could consider myself one. Maybe one day. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the last sprint for today. I'm going to switch over into editing, but I hope you all have a wonderful time reading or doing whatever you're doing. And talk to you in 40 minutes. Okay, how was everybody's last reading sprint for today?
I was very distracted. I was incredibly distracted. I'm purposely pausing the timer now because we don't need it anymore because that was our last sprint. Okay, and I did unmute myself. I always have this feeling that I didn't unmute myself. But Zuko was very distracting. Gabby Reed's posted a new video and I mentioned in it, which is really cool. So that was fun. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I did start watching it. And I was like, no, you're supposed to be being productive. And then I stopped. But I will definitely be watching that soon. And I got started into the editing, so I feel like that's the part that's the hardest, is like actually getting into it. And then once you're into it, it's like, oh, this isn't that bad. But I don't know. It's the before that. It's like I'm like that with every task I do, with every book I read, everything. If you think about the sentence long enough, you can come up with a sensible interpretation. Ooh. We have playful cats. I don't know if we'll actually see them. Right now they're doing a big stare down. Zuko is on one. He gets really snuggly first, and then he gets very playful. So now he and Klaus are just running around the place. But I think I'm gonna have to think about the sentence for a lot longer than I already have, because it's so far I cannot come up with a sensible interpretation, but I'm sure that this is true. And now I kind of want to try that. I totally got distracted by a YouTube video. I get it. About a man who got a DNA test for his cat. Interesting. I can't imagine wanting to get a DNA test for my cats. Like, two of them came from the shelter and one of them came from the street. So there's the street one and the shelter one, or one of the shelter ones. This whole standoff thing I cannot understand with cats, but it is very funny to me. But yeah, I can't imagine really caring that much. It is hard to talk while watching cats. But that was very perfect timing, though, for this comment. I'm reading Where the Forest Meets the Stars. Nice. It's good so far. Good. I transitioned to Feel the Burn, a Bernie Sanders mystery by Andrew Schaefer. Gotta say, it ain't bad at all. Just 210 pages plus 30 pages of recipes. I have never heard of this, but I need to know more. After 260 pages, we finally got a paragraph break, but it was only for a page. Wow. I mean, it's kind of weirder now to have one. I was expecting no paragraph break ever. So kind of crazy that you got one. I'm almost at page 850. I hope everyone had a great time. Very proud of you. I'm also very proud of you all. And very proud of you, Mary, because 850, great. I managed 58 pages across all sprints, so that is good going. Thanks to the company. Oh, I'm glad. All told, I read 65 pages today. Nice. People made so much great progress. Just finished Frankenstein and making a hot drink before I start on my next book. Not sure whether I want to sit and think about Victor Walton and the monster instead. Yeah, it's funny actually, in Wandering Stars, there's some talk about Frankenstein, and like one of the people that, as he's like, because they're supposed to get basically like non-Indian names, and one of them, one of the guys picks Victor because of Frankenstein, which, and like the reasoning behind it is very cool. But I'll let you read the book for that if you're interested. It is very early on. I was distracted during one of the sprints, but I still read 173 pages combined on my monthly TBR book. That's awesome. Enjoy tonight's reading stream. Great new name. Thanks. Yeah, reading stream. Perfect. Honestly, the cat DNA test seems like a con. It does, because like they're so, I mean, like I know there are like purebred cats out there, but it's just like it's not on the same level as like dogs. Like most of them are kind of mutts, and which is good. I very much like that about cats. I wish there was not so much breeding of dogs.
I posted some reviews on Instagram because I haven't done that for a while. I need to do that. I need to do like a wrap up for January. I always want to do like a weekly wrap up on Instagram, and then I never do. And then it gets to the end of the month, and I'm like, I should do a month wrap up. So maybe I'll actually get myself to do that. I'm now a third into The Good Vampire's Guide to Blood and Boyfriends. Nice. Very fun. I might restart the live recording straight away so that I'll get some actual reading done. Love it. Reading A Vow and Vengeance, first 100 pages are great. Seem promising. That's awesome. The paragraph breaks have to be a metaphor of their own. I have thoughts about that one. Yes, right? Because now it has to mean something to not have had one for so long. Managed about 110 pages today. That's great. The next live will be at the end of the month for TBR Spin, right? Yes. And I believe it should already be scheduled on YouTube. So I know some people did not get great notifications for this one today, but the next one should already be scheduled. It'll be the last weekend of February, and it'll be for TBR Spin for March, but we'll be reading afterwards. So even if you don't participate in TBR Spin, then you are more than welcome to join and just hang out for the sprints and see the wheel spin. I love seeing a wheel spin, even if it doesn't mean anything for me in my reading. Read some and got some tasks done. Thanks for the sprints. Oh, yay, I'm glad. 64 pages today. Thanks you. Yay. When I see someone reading, even on TV, I feel I can't let them down. So I have to read along, and that sense of commitment really helps me. Same. Yeah, thank you for joining. Thanks, Amelia. Yeah, please don't forget to leave a like. It does really help the channel, and it helps these grow, which has been awesome. It's been awesome to see these grow. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. Only 4 miles so far, but I'll get through it. Oh, in the river, maybe. For that, because was that the book you're reading? I can't remember now. But anyways, thank you, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks, hopefully, if you can join for the next sprints. But otherwise, in the comments of videos in between now and then. Bye, y'all.